Big Bacon. Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Big Bacon's Collection. I'm your host, Big Bacon, coming to you from the secret underground bacon bunker. Today, we're going to be reviewing the G.I. Joe Retaliation line, Ninja Combat Cruiser. Yeah, that's a fun one to say. Alright, this vehicle is basically a reissue of the Pursuit of Cobra 4-seat vamp that they came out with. It has been modified with a new topside, a firing missile launcher. So, yeah, all in all, this is probably one of the nicer Retaliation figures, or not figures, vehicles, because this one wasn't crafted from scratch. This one was just redoing something that was already on the market. A lot of the other ones were done with the cheap hollowed out plastic, like a plane that's got a tail that's hollow underneath and that's visible. Those kind of cheap little hacks that they use to get by. So, without any further ado, let's get into the review. We're going to start with NightFox. And then from there, we're going to move to the Ninja Combat Cruiser. So, looking at this figure, there's one thing I want to point out right from the get-go. This is not an articulated figure. Okay, let me reiterate. This is a barely articulated figure. This is what we call a 5 POA, 5 points of articulation. Head, shoulders, hips. That's it. No elbow, no ankles, no wrists, no knees. But let's take a look at the sculpt. Now here on the head, we've got a protective Kevlar, black tactical style, forward mounting peg for night vision. Accurately comes down over the ears, sweeps back straight line along the back. Man's got a baklava piece on. You can see it actually coming up over the nose. It's got the chin strap for the Kevlar coming all the way down around. And what appears to be some fairly accurate protective goggles. So what I'm saying is, this is a real world head sculpt. The vest. These things here are ammo pouches. Obviously some are full, some are not. Got a first aid pouch. He's got a microphone for a comm unit, and the comm unit is in this pouch here because you can actually see the top of the sculpt. He's got a tube hanging over this shoulder with a mouthpiece that attaches to a Camelback hydration system. Translation: real world style tactical vest. He's got a non-removable pistol and a thigh drop holster. Actually straps all the way around the thigh. Has an upper strap that would run up to the pistol belt. Real world holster sculpt. Now why he's got straps on this side, I have no clue. They don't go to anything. But the buckles are very realistic of real world. So this chest piece is an overlay. It does come off, but these are a pain in the butt to get back on. Driving gloves, elbow pads, various pockets all along the legs. Boots look more Western than combat, but they still look nice. So all in all, it's a good looking figure. It's just, you're not going to get any kind of dynamic posing out of it. Articulation, head swings all the way around. No up, no down, no tilt. Elbow articulates, if you pull it out, all the way around. This side, a little bit better. No elbow, no wrist. No waist, no ab, no mid-torso. Leg kicks out that far on both sides. No twisting, no knee bend, no foot articulation. Like I said, 5 POA. but a good-looking 5 PLA. Now, what do you say we go ahead and move on to the vehicle itself? So like I said, this is just basically a reissue of an earlier vamp that was released in the line. A very nice vamp, by the way. And if you don't believe me, that's it right there without the roll cage. The vamp had a roll cage, and then in the back you had a mounted gun emplacement. Ooh. It does appear as though this figure did come with a weapon, and I forgot about it. So let's take a time out and get back to that. Alright, this looks like a heavily modified M4. Got the plastic style. It's got literally the plastic style magazine. 30 round magazine. And before anybody asks, no, I'm not going to explain why I have a magazine sitting on my desk. Suppressive, let me rephrase that, muzzle suppressor, 203 attachment, top side rail, enhanced electronic optics, extendable stock. All in all, that's a nice looking weapon. Now let's see if we can get it in the figure's hand. And even with 5 points of articulation, that sits in there fairly nicely. You can't cross hold it, but it looks good. So yeah, that's all this is a reissue of that. They removed this top side piece. They removed the actual working winch that was on the other vamp version. Still have a hole here for the spare tire. And I believe they modified this back step as well. Let's do the underside real quick. Both axles have what I like to call basic suspension. Hood is simple, almost Humvee-like sculpt. Not quite there, but got sculpted in headlights, brush guard, winch, fog lighting. Have forward assist mirrors. Dash is nicely detailed. There's a steering wheel that doesn't actually attach to anything because these tires up front do not actually turn. Shifter, weapon storage or magazine, ammo cans, fuel cans, whatever. Seats 4 characters comfortably. This is where in the older version that the rotating minigun mount would be. Got some tie-down points. Got points where the flare assemblies would attach in the older one. If you've got some of the small 50 cals, they will actually peg into these holes. This antenna can peg into any hole on the hood or on the top canopy, or even in the back here. Throw back to the old vintage line, we have what looks like a fuel point. Sculpted in rear tailgate. Side running boards. Tires do rotate. These tires are apparently auto inflates and not run flats. So all in all, a nice looking piece. This is the top side assembly. There is no windshield, but there is a sculpt like there is one. All 4 of the doors are on a gull wing style assembly. The back is completely enclosed on this version. However, there are handholds sculpted into the piece. It does have a topside, rotating, and elevating rocket launcher. Now this is the same rocket launcher seen in the Snowcats and the Havoc and the Basilisk, all of those types of vehicles. And all it is it's a modern style Snowcat 4 missile launcher. This canopy on the top just pegs into the holes that are present on the sculpt. If you can get them all lined up. Okay, so apparently all of them want to line up except for the ones in the middle. Go figure. Gull wing doors open. So we can attempt to maneuver those into position. There we go. So this is what it looks like with the assembly on. Gull wing doors do open. And with that open, the figure in the front does, I mean, it takes a little bit of work, but he does go in there. Okay, do not make me look like an idiot on TV. And there he is, he's inside. It's actually easier in the back to just pop them in through the top side. And if you can get the feet lined up underneath the floorboard of the seat in front of it, they fit in there simply as well. Give me the figure. Thank you. Now, this thing does have a spring-loaded missile launcher. And it comes with these god-awful orange missiles. Everything else here coordinates fairly well. This semi-metallic, navy bluish, the gray, the black, and then you've got 4 orange missiles. A slider that, as you slide it over, apparently that launcher is broke. But all of the other, oh, there it goes. All the others just snap right in. So all in all, it's a good looking vehicle. It will fit any of the modern figures, which means you can also fit any of the vintage figures in it. Modern are just a little bit bigger than the original vintage. So if it'll fit a modern, it'll fit a vintage. The movie might not have been great, but there were some aspects of the toy line that did pretty well. I live by the saying, don't let bad media ruin a good figure, or in this case, vehicle. So, all in all, I like it. So what do you say we get this thing up and get it on the shelf? I so need to line this soon. So there you have it. The G.I. Joe Retaliation Ninja Combat Cruiser. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you all next time.